Well, hello, fans of 2-1 Titans. How are you? Paul Kuharski here. Cheers to you. I'm guessing you're watching the very tail end of Miami and Las Vegas. Did the Raiders finish that game off? I'm guessing that they did. There comes the text message. There comes the email message. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Nissan Stadium, where this booth is cold. It's like there's a wind blowing through. It's not the most comfortable. How are we doing? Kicking. Let me know what happens with this kick while we wait for people to funnel into this room. It's very short, right? Raiders should be winning this thing with relative ease. I told you guys to give the points and take the Cardinals, and lo and behold, they got it done. Haven't looked at much else as I sorted through what was going on. Well, their stars were hurt outside of Julio Jones. I mean, you think they're pulling other healthy guys? Now they're too hurt. That's the problem. But who do you think was pulled that's healthy outside of Julio Jones? There's clearly something weird going on with Julio Jones. Raiders win. Sounds like Miami played rather well in that game. Yeah, I mean, it's too many people hurt. Way too many people hurt. And it's a problem. So, I mean, they managed to win this game with relative ease. There wasn't a lot of, we need to stop being surprised that the text works. I'm paying for a text service. You've put your phone number into the text. I go into the program. I type the text. I hit send. It's got numbers in there, and boom, here they come. So Julio Jones is the concern, right? I mean, Mike Vrabel basically said he's load managing Julio Jones during the course of the game. I mean, load manage him during the week. Don't load manage him during the game. It was a 1-point game during some of this load management where he starts disappearing in the third quarter. He played 50% of the snaps in all. And then, he says, well, the way the game was going, we're digging out safeties. Well, shouldn't Julio Jones be part of digging out safeties? Is Julio Jones this is a team that run blocks its wide receivers a lot. So is he a specialty wide receiver that doesn't play run blocking downs? And even then, there were plenty of downs between when Julio Jones stopped playing and the end of the game where the Titans were in passing downs when you'd want Julio Jones in the game, particularly when A.J. Brown's out of the game. So I just don't really understand what's going on there. Now, he had said the week before in Seattle that he really liked some of what Julio Jones did without the ball in his hand. So maybe he wasn't liking what Julio Jones was doing without the ball in his hand. But Chase, when you say something is up with Vrabel and the top guys, what do you mean? I mean, these other guys are hurt. A.J. Brown didn't end up in street clothes because something's up with him and Vrabel. He ended up in street clothes because something's up with his hamstring. Bud Dupree did not play because something's up with him and Vrabel. He didn't play because something's up with his knee. Something's up with Josh Reynolds' foot or his Achilles. I mean, I don't know what's up. I talked to a doctor about Weaver. I reported that Weaver broke his right fibula. Is that right? Doctor tells me that's a 6 to 12 week injury, not knowing the details of it. It's better if it's in the middle of the bone, somewhere in the middle of the bone, as opposed to close to the knee or close to the ankle. AJ's going to have to play if you're going to win the next two games because the Jets and the Jags are so difficult to beat. They just beat the Colts without him. And the Colts, well, I think the Colts aren't very good, are better than the Jets or the Jags. So I think that is a overstatement. It's still only 3 games here. Why trade for Julio if they aren't going to use him? Defenses won't consider him a threat if they continue to misuse him. Well, last week, I certainly considered him a threat. He was over 100 yards in the first half. I mean, I don't understand what was going on today with Julio Jones, but it's 3 games in and they're 2-1. So I don't know that it's time to panic. The defense, Rob Price says it seems to be manufacturing decent pressure. I think they absolutely are. Ola Adeni is really doing some fine work up there. I mean, this is the Titans discovering a pass rush presence. What's going on there? They don't do that. And this guy is signed to be a special teamer. Yeah. I like this question a lot. I mean, I think you got to get Jayon Brown totally healthy here. And then we're going to have to see Brown and Long together on the field, some downs, maybe passing downs to convince yourself to go away from Evans. But I think that they have to do it. No news about it. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate about what Vrabel was pissed off on. I know Rex Rhodes speculating that the news that I had about Weaver, that he maybe found out about Weaver and was pissed off about Weaver as he came into the press conference. I don't think he would be that level of upset about Weaver. Vrabel's usually pissier after wins than he is after losses, and he was certainly not in a good mood after this win. 3 turnovers, really bad. I mean, this is the first game they won with -3 turnover differential since 2007. Jason Wallace asks if there are any indications. I don't have any indications about anybody coming off of IR this week. Darrington Evans certainly is one of the guys that could be ready. Marcus Johnson is another. But, I mean, I don't think this team's dying for Darrington Evans right now. Derrick Henry's been doing some nice work in the passing game. McNichols caught a touchdown today. I think he has to work his way back. Tannehill's going to trust anybody who's out there. And what choice did he have? I mean, he had snaps with McMath and NWI. He had a snap with McMath. Hey, you need anything? No big deal. He had a snap with McMath and Batson. I mean, look, they did not have great wide receivers out there today for much of it. Yeah, Tannehill absolutely needs to slide. Oh, I don't think that first off, I don't think that I mean, I thought Cruikshank was fine again today. I don't think that he could take the job from Hooker. I think Hooker's a better player. I also don't think Cruikshank will be durable enough to last to that degree. So, but a question like that suggests to me that you're rooting for Cruikshank. Are you related to Cruikshank? Hooker's a tougher player than Cruikshank. This feed is not working on YouTube? Looks like it's working on YouTube to me. This feed is not working on YouTube? Yeah, I just flipped over to YouTube. It's working on YouTube. Looks like it's working on YouTube to me. Matter of fact, I have to go over there and stop it. Or shut my YouTube window, because once I flipped over there, I was hearing myself. Tannehill definitely needs to slide. Let's get rid of that question. So, I mean, I think it's a really good win. But if you read my column, or if you haven't, I'll spoil it for you. The Colts suck, right? I mean, the Titans. And the Colts lost people too, right? The Colts lost Kwity Paye. The Colts lost Quentin Nelson along the way. They lost Rocky Sin, who's not a good player, but I don't know that they have better players than him. And Wentz obviously came in with 2 bad ankles. But, Titans lost a lot of good players and played with a lot of role players, but they beat a bad football team. I mean, the Colts are now 0-3. The Jets, who they play next week, are 0-3. The Jaguars, who they play the week after that, are 0-3. Titans need to make hay right now. They did their job today. They need to go to New York and win. They need to go to Jacksonville and win before they come back here and things get substantially more difficult, right? So they're 2-1. They need to be 4-1. Not a lot of excuses. They cannot get picked off by one of these 2 teams in the next 2 weeks. Anything can happen any given week, yada, yada. Can't happen now. Third down defense was very good today. Forced Blankenship to try 4 field goals. He missed the 50-yarder going this way at the end of the game where they were going to kick it and then try to onside kick it. Should have put them in. It's hard to win a division. Yeah, they should win it by the end of November. Certainly shouldn't come down to the last 2 games. So I don't know what's up. Chip Cruz, good to see you. How are you? I think Taylor Lewan was a little dramatic with the boo thing. Look, you play like shit in a game like that. The PA announcer did screw you over with the announcement. But I think the crowd would have caught on that you were returning to that game in which you were playing horribly and you probably were going to get booed. You just got to expect it. And I don't know if you're looking for sympathy at this stage, talking about the boos. He played better today. That's what's important. So just come back, play better, and be a non-story. Alejandro, you and Brian Moore love to ask questions like this. If AJ's healthy, he plays. If he's not healthy, he doesn't play. And you draw a line on, how healthy he needs to be. But you don't just say, well, the Jets are bad, so we can sit AJ and get healthy. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So, no, I would not sit him to get him healthier if he's healthy. Now, hamstring can be serious, so maybe he needs 2 weeks. If he needs 2 weeks, then that's fine. This Lewan, by the way, they got a PR person saying, one more question. They got 2 things going on at the same time because they're trying to mimic a locker room, which is what they're supposed to do. So I appreciate that they're doing that, but we're running from Tannehill outside to Lewan in the hallway. So Lewan is maybe half done. He's had his initial rounds of conversation. Well, this is just like in a locker room. It gets repetitive. So another round of us show up and we ask some of the same questions that have already been asked. So he asks it again. And he talks for 3 minutes, and then somebody, 1 more question, two more questions. He wants to talk. Let him talk. He's in no hurry. If he's in no hurry, you don't have to hurry me along. I'll be fine. He'll be fine. I hate COVID. I mean, I wrote about this week, D-Gup, but I never felt like they were in trouble in this game. Never felt like they were in trouble in this game. Vrabel almost always seems mad at the press conference. He didn't storm out. He made it clear, like coming in, he wasn't going to be sticking around for the long haul. And when he left, there was a little bit of a ruckus. He might have slammed the door behind him. Things that get made a federal offense out of are just kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think Chester Rogers needs to be used. I'm fine with Chester Rogers being used if he's not used on plays that turn into interceptions. I'm fine with Chester Rogers being the slot receiver on this team right now. Now, when Marcus Johnson comes back, if Josh Reynolds turns into anything, there'll be some competition for him there. I'd like to see Brown and Jones on the field regularly. With Rodgers, could be the third. That's fine with me. and then rotate another guy in once in a while. But let's get the bulk of the snaps for the best guys as regularly as possible. That's the way it should work. Well, Zell, he wouldn't go the whole season without playing if he's playing later in the season. You know, could be like Caleb Farley last year. I sure hope not for his sake. They need all the help they can get.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, how's it going?
Good.
All right.
Don't let me stop you for anything. Long looked good. Fulton finished the game. When a guy finishes the game, you generally presume he's going to be all right. But yeah. I mean, this team's going to get nothing out of kick returner until the kick return unit gets good. Josh Reynolds, still has something going on with this. Was he on the injury report? Let me go look at the injury report. He was not on the injury report. So he's technically a healthy scratch, which is really bad. So they're not big on him right now, but it's a very long season, and he'll have his moments. Now, Blasingame only played about 6 snaps on offense last week. And so Torrey Carter is presumably a better special teamer than Kerry Blasingame. And so they gave him a shot today. Well, I don't know, what the overall assessment of special teams is. It drives me insane that Craig Ackerman's unit, on the first special teams play, I think, not the kickoff, but the first special teams play after that, doesn't have enough guys on the field. And somebody has to go sprinting out there. Would I assume Farley plays over the next few weeks? Well, he's already missed 2 games. So I would presume that they think there's potential for him to play next week. But it's, they're going to scratch how many guys? 5, 6, 7 guys anyway, Josh. So it's okay to have a guy who's not on IR because you're going to scratch 5, 6, 7 guys anyway. So it's okay if that guy's hurt. It's not the end of the world. See what they did on kick return here. Now you got me all stirred up. Kickoff returns. McNichols 2 for 31 and 2 15.5 yards. 16 was his long. So he's pretty consistent there. 2 touchbacks. They had a 17 and a 16. So that was a complete wash. Well, they say Swaim has hands of stone. He also had the second longest play for the Titans after the Tannehill run. Turned a short little pass into a 20-something yard gain. So it was not all bad for Swaim. But yeah, you don't want to be throwing to Swaim too much. I think Ficken will be the kicker when he comes back. I think he should be the kicker when he comes back. And he's eligible to come back this week. So, well, second half play calling improved over first half play calling is good. Really struggling running the ball between the guards. Well, here's a couple reasons to think about. Saffold and Ben Jones are both banged up. So they're not going to be as good as they usually are. Also, DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart are really the strength of the Colts defense, and shouldn't really be looking to run near DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. You should be looking to get away from DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, I think. So, look, all of these guys. Somebody asked if Hooker has potential back for Jaguars week. I don't know any details. Look, if I know injury details, I share them as fast as I can. I found out that Rashad Weaver broke his leg. I got it up as fast as I could, scared to death that somebody else would have it. So I don't have injury details that I wait to be asked about in these chats, as much as I love these chats. I don't think Christopher Reeve would have done a good job running up the middle either. Well, I mean, you make it sound like Ficken has some long injury history here. He had a good preseason. He's been with this team a lot longer than Bullock. And I think they're trying to develop their own young kicker. I don't know. You could put Ficken on the practice squad conceivably and wait until Bullock screws up, which I think eventually he will. Can have a competition week. I don't know. You asked me what I thought. I think you asked me what I thought, or whether you asked me what I thought or not. You know, I'm generally going to share what I think, and what I think is I would go with Ficken. Yeah, Molden did not play that much today. Let me get rid of this. Molden did not play that much today. Chris Jackson is a faster guy. Now, I did see Molden down like in the red zone where speed is not as big a deal, right? And horizontal is more important than vertical. So I think they were changing things more frequently than usual. It's tough on Molden when they're going to target him and go after him for his lack of speed. And I think it's even tougher when, you've got a substitute safety in there like Cruikshank who can't necessarily cover for him the way you would like Byard to be able to help and cover for him when you've got your regular strong safety and Hooker in there. So he's in a tough spot, but I don't know that he can be a full-time slot yet. Groin isn't a minor injury for a kicker, but we don't know how serious the groin injury was. If it's a 3-week groin, if it's a longer groin. Thoughts on Fulton? Fulton's played really well. I am surprised and impressed. Christian Fulton got hurt. I don't know what it was. And Borders got thrown out a couple times, and there wasn't a completion. Was that the very end of the game? Well, no, the Titans kneeled at the end of the game. So I don't know what Fulton's status is. Hopefully it's not serious, because Fulton has probably been this team's best overall defensive player through 3 weeks. I think that would be a fair assessment. He's been very good. I've been very impressed. And it's very encouraging. Rashawn Evans, I think there's a massive public agreement that people want him out of the lineup. And it would seem, I think it's a matter of time before they have to try it. I don't know. Quesenberry's okay as long as they're running. I think there's probably a chance of them bringing Simon back with Weaver out. They've only got one linebacker on the practice squad. His name is Jones, and I have to be honest, I don't know if he's an inside linebacker or an outside linebacker. He's just listed as a linebacker. Latest thoughts on first-round Panda. I cannot believe how many Titans fans out there are saying, upon seeing his Facebook post for Suckers, talking about how he forgives everyone who gave up on him, saying, I hope the guy gets it together and does well. Like, I'm not wishing ill will on the guy, but I'm a huge Yankee fan. And so when there are guys who come to the Yankees and suck, not at the level of Panda, because I can't think of a guy that sucked to that level, but let's say Jacoby Ellsbury. Jacoby Ellsbury came to the Yankees, cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars. Their albatross contract, got repeatedly hurt, and did nothing for them. I don't give a shit how Jacoby Ellsbury's doing. I mean, he's fine. He made a bunch of money, but he could post something and I just wouldn't give a shit. I don't really understand the mentality of Titans fans. Like, guys could come here, completely fuck the organization over, and everybody, and not everybody, but I can't get over just the high percentage of the population that are like, man, he really screwed us over, but I sure hope he, has a great second act, just so long as he doesn't hurt us or whatever. I mean, I get the human element of it, but why this urge, or why the default to humanize the guy that kills you? I'm not saying dehumanize him and throw him away, but I just don't understand why you care. Like, why wouldn't you just be done with Isaiah Wilson? Why do you care at all about Isaiah Wilson? He forgives you. Like, you listen to a guy talk idiocy like that and spend time caring. I just don't understand it. This is more my sentiment. Zell makes sense to me. Zell and I, if we rooted for the same team and we had a drink together, we would have the same sort of sentiment. This guy, this is more my kind of response. But I think my subscribers, my members, are more akin to me. These other people, I mean, if you scroll through Twitter, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I hope he got it together. Let him go play for the Colts and do well, just not, not Titans week. This person I don't understand. Like, you been around? This is funny. That's humorous. You Facebook people should sign on to the StreamYard thing, whatever they're asking you to do, just so I could see your name. Yes, good job for Art Smith getting his first win. Let's text him right now. Let's text Art Smith and tell him congratulations. Congratulations. Really happy for you. No, went to the wrong place. That went up like next to another. That was like another person I was sending it to. Congratulations, period. Really happy for you. Falcons did win, correct? Well, you got your wish, Tyler. You got more than your money's worth out of this month's membership, or this year's. I hope you're a yearly member. $17-14 over the Giants. Right? So the Giants suck. Yeah, and I wrote a little bit about it too, Kyle. So you can watch back. Talked a lot about Julio. Wrote about it also. So read the column, please. We're heading into a half an hour here now. So any new questions, we'll hit them, and then we'll be done. So it's an interesting, weird win. Titans have some weird wins. So how'd y'all feel about the Oilers element? Let's see. Can we see the? There's Bum Phillips over there. Can you see him? Over the S, right over here. Let me get my finger up here. Right over there is Bum Phillips. next to Earl Campbell. Elvin Bethea, Robert Brazil, Earl Campbell, Bum Phillips. That whole side is kind of the Oilers side because over here is Bud, Jim Norton, Ken Houston, and George Blandon. So Titans names are below my feet. Oh, I see tangible improvement from this defense. Let's see here. What was that question? Oh, from last year, absolutely. I mean, third down defense is playing much better from week one and, from last year. Yeah, why do we care so much that Vrabel was pissed off? I mean, he's pissed off to turn the ball over 3 times. Could have been pissed off at the Weaver injury news. Maybe he got bad injury news on Fulton. I don't know. The things we spend time on, weird to me. Bruce is not the kind of guy who would jump on a plane and spend a weekend in Nashville to celebrate the Oilers. I don't know. That was a nail biter. They were up 2 scores, but all right. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Make sure you click on both stories today: the Weaver story and the column off the game, and then make sure that you've watched this video start to finish. And tune in tomorrow, 2:00. Outkick 360. Jonathan, Chad, and I will discuss this game, NFL weekend, college football weekend, anything else that's going on. Little Ryder Cup, probably. Haven't really caught up on that. But do all these things. We will chat again soon. I will write again soon. I appreciate your faithfulness and your loyalty. And I really enjoy these after the game. So I appreciate you. Don't block the box. Do lock the locks. I'm going to go home, see the family, have something to eat, and watch the night game. Be well. Have fun. Congrats on the win. See ya. Good night.